Damn, son, where'd you find this?
People don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who act like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lied.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. I hope all is well with each and every single one of you. Friday is here. Just a couple of more days before the new year kicks off. Are you ready? Are you prepared to walk into another calendar year? Hopefully you are. I just want to say thank y'all for being here this evening. We got some things to talk about. I got Coach in the building. I'm about to bring him up on the big screen. I got a clip for us, and this should be an interesting discussion. Coach, what up?
Yo, man, what's up, man? Peace and blessings. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Feeling festive.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. How was your day?
Not bad at all, man. I got rid of some junk that has been cluttering up the space, literally and metaphorically. So I'm feeling a little lighter.
Hey, that's what's up, baby. Light, lean, and lethal. Getting ready to go into this new year, man. Let's get it.
Right on. Sofia Vergara. There's a post came out. She has a specific set of preferences that a lot of people agree with, a lot of people disagree with. I want to play this clip for everybody and go from there. I'll bring it up on the big screen.
Let's get it.
Honest with them and told them she will not be dating anyone unless they have as much money as her or more. Nothing quite pisses poor guys off more than a hot rich woman speaking her truth. Sofia Vergara is simply answering the questions that people are asking her. She has been modeling and acting for decades, is in an entire host of TV shows and amazing movies. After breaking the news that she just had to go under the knife again at the age of 53 and made it through the surgery, people are saying, okay, now that you made it through this knee surgery, what's going on with your love life? Because her and her second husband divorced last year. Sofia is officially been on the market for a year now, and we really haven't heard much. She's sending shockwaves around the world apparently because she is reportedly worth at least $180 million. Again, she's been in a lot of TV shows and movies. And let's be honest, she's gorgeous. She has worked hard for every penny. But now everyone seems to be upset. And by everyone, I mean all of the broke men. Probably the same broke men who like to talk about gold diggers, because it's only broke guys who get pissed off at the idea of gold diggers. They don't want women taking men's money. Those guys also appear to not like it when the shoe's on the other foot and it's a rich woman who doesn't want a poor man. Asked this question about her love life, she was honest with them and told them.
All right. First, I'm gonna say this. The woman doing the review to this, shame on you, ma'am. Shame on you. You're rage baiting. 100% rage baiting. But we're going to address that. Off the top, congratulations to Sofia on all her success. To get that type of money, you got to put in work. And you got to be good at what you do. So I'm just say that off the rip. Ain't no shade. I love anybody who is putting in the time to achieve their goals and make them a reality. You deserve your flowers. In terms of her preference with what the guy has to make, that's her preference. Period. That doesn't bother me one bit. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that I want to address within this, but for now, that's pretty much my stance so far. What was your initial take on this clip?
Hey man, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. Everything that you just said. It's unfortunate. It seems like she was trying to use every bold letter word she could for marketing to try to trigger somebody, and that just seems to be what we're coming across more and more lately. So, great job on identifying that and starting the video out that way.
I mean, call a spade of spades. At this point, when you click on a video, you really got to look out for it, because you never know if it's going to come from an honest place or they're just genuinely being themselves. And like that right there, I knew exactly what she was doing, because I've heard that same line in the comment section for years. So I want to address that part first. Let's talk about men who are financially stable, but they don't measure up to someone who has a abundant amount of success compared to them. Do these men feel threatened by someone who makes more than them?
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know anybody who's financially secure that feels threatened by anybody. One of the hardest things to do is to feel financially secure. Um, but if you feel financially secure, there may be some things that you may be insecure about that you may entertain. But again, kind of a broad question to ask. Being financially secure and being insecure is it's a big step in between the two. But you can be financially secure and be insecure about a topic and be curious about it, so that could possibly lead you to make some bad decisions in that regard.
So, all right. So here's the issue. Now I'm trying to attack specifically what she said. What she said. All right. She's saying that broke men are envious of women who are wealthy, and they feel like women with money are looking down on men who are broke. But what are you talking about when you say broke? You know what I'm saying? Um, to me, anybody who can afford their car insurance, their car's paid off, your rent is paid, your electricity is on, you're not struggling month to month. Anybody who is financially able to take care of themselves and maybe a second party, I don't look at that as a failure. I don't look at that as broke. You might not have a extreme amount of resources, but you're not borrowing and on the borderline of bankruptcy. You're financially stable. What is she talking about when she say broke?
I don't know, man. You asked to answer your own question. You asked a great question and then gave a great answer. So I guess it just goes back to, again, about expectation management. Is if you're expecting something, more or less provide what you're expecting, provide how you can go or less, you know, achieving those accomplishments, and then what it looks like when you have achieved those accomplishments. Other than that, you asked and answered the question already.
You hear it so much. Oh, you broke and you jealous. And shout out to Lav Bond. I see you, bro. You hear this in the comment sections all the time. Oh, he's just broke. He's jealous of you because you make more money than him. He's not as ambitious. So he's trying to rain on your parade because you can't control her because she has more money than you. Again, what are we really saying? Because to me, as long as you healthy, you can take care of yourself. I don't see the loss. I don't see what makes you a deficient partner at all. Now if you're referring to somebody who is living on the couch, they just there to drop off some pipe and go on about their day, and they ain't contributing. They have no aspirations, no desire to do anything other than live off of you. That's something else. So, like, when I hear this, I really be wanting them to be specific about what to talk about. Now, if you're implying that the guy who has a average job, then he works hard, but you think that because he should be a Fortune 500 type of a person, he doesn't really concern himself with having that type of status. He's content with his routine and how he moves. You deem that as undesirable. That's where I have some pushback.
Okay, so what are you pushing back on?
The fact that you're implying that a person who is saying I'm all right with being a manager or a supervisor. I have my own duplex. I have my own house. It might not be a big house. I have little bit of this and that here. I'm not calling around asking my uncles and anybody for money. I'm not taking out loans. I'm not struggling with the bank and et cetera, et cetera. I just don't desire to sit across the table from Laura Croft or Steven Spielberg. I'm not really trying to walk down the red carpet. I don't have no desire to take photos with Ariana Grande and all of that. I'm content with having a simple, structured life that doesn't come with the extra and excess headaches. Um, that's what I would push back with. You're insinuating that that person is less ambitious than you are, or that you can't get out of them a quality lifestyle because of the financial gap.
You said that's what you got from it because of the. She said that because of the financial gap.
It comes off as if you're telling me I can't really take care of you, or I can't love you or protect you if I don't make 2.3 million more than you.
Okay, is that the only way you see it, or that's just what's most logical to you?
Well, my main issue is you're assuming that money is the equivalent to a successful anything. That's my main concern. I get it. You work hard. Nobody's denying that. But that's not the end all be all. If history has shown, money does not guarantee that you're going to have a long lasting, joyous life either.
So if you had an opportunity to educate somebody at this point, what would you say would be most worth dedicating your time and your efforts to? Obviously, leaving money out of it. What would be something you would say that would be worth dedicating your time and effort to?
To be honest with you, I would say hone your spiritual muscles more, your relationship with the creator, the one who gave you life, the one who directed your steps, the one that can direct you properly in who you should be around, who you don't need to be around, where you should be sowing your seeds, how you should be giving and receiving. um Getting in the word, honestly, I would say you have to have a balance, but first and foremost, you have to actually know who you are inside and out. um
So if I'm just starting out, like you just mentioned earlier, right? It's 2025. We got a week left, and obviously I can't figure it out in the last 7 to 10 days. But what is starting the new year out looking like per the guidance you've given me? Tell me something that I can do to start the year off right, and and then be able to maintain checks and balances.
I would say take this time to do some self-reflection. um get rid of the traffic around you. Maybe remove yourself so much from social media. Take some time to get to know yourself more, pray a little bit more, read a little bit more. um Anything that is distracting you or deplenishing you from pouring into yourself, I would take a step back from it and figure out what are things that I can do without going into the new year. What's the excess? What don't I need? Right? Because you can't carry everything. We have a habit of dragging stuff with us that we shouldn't. So I would say maybe do some retrospect. Definitely do, like I said earlier today. I'm thinking about January, February, March, April. I'm thinking about the timestamps and where I was then versus where I am now, and all right, I want to do this. I want to apply this. I want to be more proactive in the things that I have come to the conclusion on. It's probably not the greatest choice. So I would definitely say that for sure. Yeah. You're not doing no New Year's resolutions. This is just a self evaluation because everybody else, they can lie to you. They can say whatever they want to you. You can't lie to yourself. You can, but you can't. So I would rather you face whatever it is you got to face about yourself, be honest with yourself, and then face it head on before you close out and go on to the next year.
So would you consider yourself a content creator, or because you make multiple channels? Again, shout out to the poetry night. That was a dope night. So, what would you consider yourself? In this space right now.
I just like to talk. I like to communicate. I like to enjoy and invest and pour into people. I enjoy my hobbies. I enjoy poetry. I don't really teeter on one side or the other because I do a multitude of things. So I don't know. I wouldn't even consider myself a content creator at all. I just felt like I needed to put more use to my platform other than just randomly posting my poetry up here. So I just
Okay, that's dope, man. What would you say to the people that's following you? Something that's they've inspired you to do for 2026.
be very transparent, be very open, be very honest about the things that I see going on in the world from my perspective. Um, the number one thing on my to-do list is to ensure that people have a voice. That's it. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I just want people to have a voice. Share your knowledge and your wisdom with whoever may want to hear it. I don't know everything. I never said I did. I will never even pretend like I do. There's folks that come up here and they are far exceeding me in certain areas. I want them to have the place to do that. That's it. Those are the two main things.
No, that's so. So like Sofia Vergara, how would you feel dating somebody in the content area? Is that something that you interested in doing, or you wouldn't do that type of stuff?
Hell no. Hell to no. Fuck that. Shit.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
You see this shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Facts, man. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I ain't saying everything would be like that, but I definitely understand.
I don't think none of them relationships work or last. They all come off temporary.
Like contracts, like agreements.
Yeah. And it never feels authentic because these niggas be in front of the camera 24 hours a day taking photos and here we're going to JC Penney for Valentine's Day.
Right,
He
right,
know
right.
he know I don't like JC Penney, then he surprised her with a $20,000, $40,000 watch or some crazy shit, and then it's all cute for the first couple months, and then there's that scandal, and then it's right back. I don't believe in none of them relationships.
No, yeah, I get it totally. I totally get it. I totally get it. But you definitely, I'm sure somebody's probably thinking that because you talk about other people's relationships, so maybe somebody was thinking to ask you that. So I'm sure you're somebody's celebrity somewhere, brother.
I will gladly deal with somebody that works at McDonald's.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's salute.
Yeah, you gotta be in the mud with me.
Right.
Like in the trenches. I don't want nobody who is just coming along after you don't even know the shit that I went through. You think it was always like this? No. It was a time where people didn't fuck with you. They didn't care that you were doing what you were doing. They didn't have no holler for you. You were just a random person on social media that's talking. There's millions of people that talk. Why do I need to invest in you? You know what I'm saying? Folks that start from the ground up, nobody really cares for them people. They don't care about you until you actually make something of yourself. That's when everybody want to show up. I don't want nobody like that around me.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it hypocritical, man. Because I mean, if people feel that way in real life, that they shouldn't feel that way. But if they've built a social platform online, and then they hold people accountable, right? Um, because they weren't there when people were out there, I guess, bearing their all and their souls on social media. It's kind of the same sense in the same context. It's just now is what's good for the goose, type of thing.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just giving an example. That's all. I don't know because I'm new to social media, right? So I don't know much about social media, but it definitely feels like you know um, a different way to people to shun folks that wasn't on social media prior. So now social media, you're the cool kids versus people that hasn't been on social media. That's just my experience.
So within for the love of this discussion, do you think that this is a a discussion about shaming or making someone feel small for their preference?
I think it's both. I think it's both. Because the shaming comes in at one point, but if your preference aligned, then it will probably end there. But now you're still gonna have to suffer because your preference doesn't necessarily align, right? Because we was talking about Sofia Vergara saying, as far as not dating anybody that made less than her, and that can be monetization wise. That can be as far as for followers wise. Whatever somebody wanted to, categorize because it's sliders to everything. Again, we say that all the time. But if somebody based that on how much time, like you said, if you put more time and energy into it, that's the same thing as having an actual small business in real life. Is people put actually more business and more time and effort into something and being more successful than the other person. But people still want somebody to reach out and help to them. They still have resources for people to go out and say, here's workshops and different things if you didn't, gain these tools and these resources. But online, it seems to be that again, I don't think everybody understands they're building a small business or a brand, but they are building something and they do have followers, but they aren't as freely or free to suggest the success levels as somebody would do to mentor or to do in real life.
Fair enough. Like
If
I said,
that shit even makes sense, man. I mean, that's just my experience. So yeah.
no, I hear you. I hear you. And like I said at the beginning, I give her all the props in the world. Congratulations. You earned that, right? I have no problem with the preferences. Um, I had an issue with what the woman was rage baiting.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I was trying to actually nitpick and dissect the actual preference itself, I would rather have a conversation with the individual, not actually be so broad about it, because it might be different, but it does sound more universal when you actually scroll social media. Me being here as long as I have, up and down these YouTube streaks, these IG streaks, they it's the echo chamber, bro.
Right.
So I'm not just hearing it for the first time today. I'm hearing this shit for the last 7 years or so.
Right.
Everybody is saying you're broke, or giving you this idea that if you don't make more or equal to me, then I can't respect you, or I can't value you in the ways that I need to, because I make more than you. That's my only issue with that whole thing. You
No,
can
I
want,
got it. That makes total sense. I got that. That makes total sense.
like, I wouldn't want somebody around me who got trains ran on them. I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody like that. I don't care if that was you 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That's my preference. Why would that bother you so much? So you saying, oh, the person, all right, put it this way. You don't have to explain shit to nobody. But
Facts.
fortunately, you're so pressed for validation, y'all get on the camera and talk about this shit all the time.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, well, you're leaving it up for interpretation. Once it's here, it's here. You can't get rid of it. You said it. People are going to talk about it. Could people scroll away from it? Sure. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's where the marketing comes into play. Is where if I know you're gonna scroll into it or you're gonna look into it, I'm gonna lean into it, and that's where the narratives and all that other stuff come in. And you start talking about not being able to believe what people are saying is because again, now you're talking about making homemade, handmade commercials to get you to keep buying into something.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you to keep coming back by doing what? Giving you something that's gonna give you something you're interested in. You're not gonna look at it if I tell you some of the greatest information you can probably hear, and you're like, "Oh, awesome, got it," and you're never coming back anymore. It's just like being on the street, like we talked about earlier, giving you something, I'm pumping it to you, giving you a reason to come back for a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more. That's what it is. But you're just breaking it down into niches
Yeah.
of what somebody's interested in if you can provide that the longevity of that topic or that brand or that product. That's really what you're breaking it down to.
And you do that, people eat it up. They ingest it. They start to apply it to their own life because they look at you like somebody that they can actually kind of connect with, almost
Right.
as if you're buddies. You're not buddies though, but because you feel like you're so relatable.
Or a supply source of positive information that you can help them radiate and be the best version of themselves. A motivational speaker or a book. Yeah, they don't always gotta be bad, bro. Hit the subscribe button.
That's true. Hey, y'all never hear me say that shit.
Yeah. Well, you heard me say it. Happy holidays. But
Real.
but that's just being real. I mean, because again, that's something you're gonna come back and you're gonna buy into. You know what I mean? Because it makes you feel good about yourself. So, and that's why people go out and spend money, either to music, movies, shows, plays, etc. Is because that's what makes them feel good about themselves. point blank period. You're gonna spend the money that you earn on that.
And that's all fine and dandy. So if I'm paying for it, then I can say what the hell I want.
Absolutely. And that's why you take the emotion out of it. You know what I mean?
Which goes back to, do men even really give a shit about this whole, oh, you just intimidated because I make more money than you? I don't really think a lot of men care about that shit.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
A lot of y'all think men care about that. And maybe there's some who do, but the large majority don't care about that. I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is that type of music that you're listening to that makes you believe that people are thinking about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? If you're playing that type of music, that's what's on people's forefront, on their psyche. That might be what people are commonly repeating because that's something that's out there, as in the marketing. But absolutely not. That's not what people care about. The fact that you're making money is a plus. If you're making more money, that's, hey, kudos. That's even better. You know what I mean? But now people have to get out of the Americanized thinking of who's making money and who needs to do what with what money. If you're a team, then you should be offsetting each other, you know, one way or the other. What's your objectives? You know what I mean? What's the end goal? But you're so much caught up in this world of fictitious living where it matters who brings in what and who doesn't bring in what versus the value of the relationship and the value. Again, we're talking about that village concept again, not the individual thing. The individual mindset and the individual thinking is talking about, well, I make more than you. Well, you probably do. I might provide more nurturing to you. I may provide more leadership to you. You know what? Everybody has a role, roles and responsibilities. And once the roles and responsibilities are identified and people accept them, that's when you start to have those good relationships, man. And that's when you can progress and prosper and start doing those good things. You don't have to worry about those simple things. That shit don't matter anymore because you start to see the big picture.
Do you get worse the more you make money?
You can, because you can be used to the resources that you have, and then now you're giving more money, and it uproots everything that you are involved in and puts you in a new category. And now your resources expand, and the resources that you were once using that became survival resources are now just becoming resources in a pool of resources. And now you have to figure out how to use these other resources. Now, this is where it comes into play as far as for getting a money advisor, somebody who's experienced in having more money and these resources, or you just get into this category and have resources and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna figure it out. I don't need nobody. You know, that's typically the personality that people take. And if you take that role, you may end up on the good side or the bad side. You know, not everybody fails and not everybody succeeds. But the people that are more successful and do a longer successful life with their wealth and the things that they accomplish are the people that go seek people that are experienced in those areas and get help from them and allow them to worry about that. You continue to focus on your relationship and the simple things that just, you know, keeping your spouse happy. Instead of taking on other things of I can do this myself, instead of just paying somebody, you know, a monthly fee and allowing them to worry about those roles and responsibilities. Because again, now you're handling a business. You're not just a W-2 employee working for somebody. So you have to start thinking about the things you don't know, planning for the things you don't know, how they can take away from the quality time. You know, it just spawns from any little thing left or right, man. I can talk about that all night, but to answer your question, it does matter.
Sofia Vergara has 2 failed marriages. If I'm going off of the numbers and her requirements, that would leave me to believe that both of her partners made just as much as she did or made more than she did. Otherwise, she wouldn't have married them in the first place. Unless you're just being a hypocrite and you made adjustments for them based on other factors. But if I'm going off of what I heard here, then you married these two because they had the provisions. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me. So you find a person with that long list that has everything that you asked for. It's not that easy. Most people never find it. Most people, if they do find it, it's not hard to maintain or manage. But you found it twice. You found it one time, it didn't work out. My thing is, okay, so what happened to where the person had everything that you asked for and it still wasn't enough to the extent y'all parted ways, and you did this process on 2 different occasions? I'm not saying it's one side over the other. To me, is on both parties. But all I can think of is, oh, you got to make more than me for me to be entertained by you. But somebody did twice and it didn't work out. So something inside of me is saying, well, clearly the money wasn't enough, because you would have still been married to the first husband. Jennifer Lopez, she's gone down this road 4 times. She might as well be Booker T. So is money really the main ingredient here? Since I keep on saying, oh, this is what we need to survive, to thrive, to flourish, to be the best couple that we can possibly be. This is what I need out of you when an intruder tries to break into the house. This is what I need out of you when I'm emotionally going through. I need you to buy me a Birkin bag. I need you to fly me to Cuba or whatever location I see fit, so I can feel better about my broken heart. My grandparents just died. I need to mourn. Send me on a cruise for a week or so. That'll make me feel better. You had that twice. And I'm not even just talking about her specifically. I'm talking about the women who say or try to condemn men who don't operate in the same guise as them. You have, or you had somebody, or you aspire to have somebody in that area, but the relationships, they either turn out that you're a side chick, or he's a woman beater, or you couldn't control him, or it's always something. So now what do we do with that? Of course, they're still your preferences.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think you do anything with any of it. It's, just allow people to be themselves, man. They was who they was before they got here. All you can do is allow them to be them. You know what I mean? Allow people a little bit of grace, and if you're willing to allow somebody to, mess up one or two times, have that conversation with them, and if you're not, have that conversation with them and keep it moving. Other than that, I think it's hard enough, man. Just being human nowadays, man. Everybody always trying to be somebody else. Nobody know how to be themselves. Everybody broke as hell, trying to figure it out from one moment to the next. So yeah, just allow each other a little bit of grace and just have honest conversations. And if they're not willing to have an honest conversation, keep it moving, man. Why are you talking to them?
Right. Brings me to one of my questions that I jotted down. Is dating in your tax bracket realistic? Put it this way. All right. You got someone who makes 40K a year dating somebody making 40K a year versus someone who is making 200,000 a year making the same amount or more. Which one is more likely to be the most realistic and survive and actually get through everything?
Man, I think that's the shit y'all watching the movies. I don't think none of that shit is realistic, man. I think as long as you can have a conversation and entertain somebody, you can date whoever the hell you want to. I don't think it matters what tax bracket it's in. I think, again, that's just something in your mind, you self-sabotaging, and you finding another obstacle to prevent yourself from being able to talk to somebody. If you're worried about a tax bracket, that means you got low self-esteem about, who you are as a person and what you bring to as a value. If you can get in the same room, man, with anybody and have a conversation, man, it don't matter what your tax bracket is, it just matter what you do when you seize that opportunity. One of the biggest things you try to coach a young entrepreneur is get your elevator pitch. Whatever you sit in the elevator somebody with from less than 25 seconds, you be able to sell, tell, and do whatever the fuck you can do. And then that way you can get some business or you can't. And if you can't do it, go somewhere else and work on it again until you get better at it, man. Anybody that tell you different, they're just trying to sell you some shit. Hit me up. I got plenty of programs and I can help you become a better version of yourself and believe in yourself. But I don't believe in any of that. Again, you need to have confidence within yourself, because if you don't have confidence, then why the hell would somebody want to talk to you or be with you?
Yeah, I agree. Somebody said this in another post. They say, man, just because they ask for X amount or they have these requirements, that don't mean they ain't still out here fucking though. They might not take you serious, but they still out here doing them. You just ain't gonna.
Nah, man. Listen again, man. People can do whatever they want, man, and you can go pay for whatever you want to pay for. If you've earned that money, you put in that hard work, man. You go pay to whatever price you want to. You don't have to look for a discount. You don't have to look for, the best savings. But that's what you believe in. And that's what you need to hold yourself accountable for if you get what you get for what you pay for. We got to stop worrying about other people. Got to stop talking about other people. Go out there and make a decision. Execute. And if that's what you decided to believe in and you put your work and effort into it and you didn't get anything out of it, what are you going to do now? Because that's the big question. Get your ass up and do it again. Go out there, figure it out, how you going to do it again. And if you can't figure it out, then call somebody. But you got to make a choice, man. You can't be out here worried and scared about what somebody else is going to talk about and what somebody else is going to say. So I'm never going to speak on that. I'm only going to say is, hey, salutes to you if you make a decision. If you make the wrong decision, who cares? You made a decision. The hardest part is making a decision. Go out there and make a decision. You know what I mean? And try to get educated. And if you're trying to do better, you're gonna do better. That's the only type of information I can put out there, man. My apologies.
No, you good. I want to say to this woman who said that ridiculous crap, stop. Don't do that again. Don't. Unless you're going to be very clear about what you mean, you're going to draw the line and you're going to speak directly to what you are referring to when you say broke. And we always say like these words, we don't really give much clarity or insight to them. That's why, like, I talk slow. There's people who can't stand that shit. Like, hurry up and get through what you're gonna say. Nah, my nigga, I can't do that. I don't talk fast. I'm not about to sit up here and do all this and so you can. I'm not doing that. I like to enjoy the journey that I'm going on, so I can get you to where I'm trying to get. I need you to see what I see. You're gonna say something like that. Explain why you say that. Matter of fact, why don't you just have a conversation with some people, some good gentlemen, and really ask the questions to them. Have an open dialogue about it, but don't spam the internet with this, because it's almost like you copying and pasting something that somebody else said, because you know it's going to trigger people and it's going to make them interact and engage with your bullshit. You don't really care about what you're talking about. That's it. That's all. There's
Yeah, I mean, perfectly said, brother. You know what I mean? And again, sometimes what's understood don't gotta be explained, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for the fact that there are some very I don't want to say gullible, but there are people who eat that stuff up. They'll take it all for face value. There's people who think that the person with that avatar and that profile is actually the person. No, it's not. It's image search. All you got to do is reverse image search the shit.
Yeah, but that's when you got to break content down, and everything ain't for everybody, and there's levels to it. And if somebody thinking like that, then I think at this particular point, this ain't the target audience for that person. Just my opinion. Man. You can't reach everybody. Plant a seed though. I hope they, it grows, and then maybe they can reference back to a reference point. But you know what I mean? We're at a time, man, where it's so bad out here, man. You can't try to save everybody, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. My last thoughts on this: money does not mean that you're going to have a successful relationship. It doesn't even mean that it's going to get you everything that you want, because some stuff is beyond superficial. You can't purchase a smile. You can't purchase a happy heart. You can't purchase healing. Not the type of healing that keep you up restless at nights. That is, you're entitled to your preferences. Just make sure that these preferences are not disqualifying you from engaging with folks that might really be for you. It don't have to be a relationship. It could be a friend. It could be a business partner. But don't allow your preferences. Matter of fact, don't even let them be someone else's influence. If they're yours, cool. But if they're someone else's and you're just using them and borrow, nah. But hey, that's all I wanted to chime in on. Good luck with her. Something ain't right with you. You get divorced twice. That's all I'm saying. Something ain't right with that shit.
Appreciate you, man. Happy holidays, man. I hope you had a good one, brother. Enjoy the conversation.
Likewise, man. We about to get up out of here. Salutes to everybody who pulled up in the stream. I gotta get back to binge watching Stranger Things. Yes, I finally got to catch up. I'm on season 5. So yeah, we about to chop it up, man. But y'all be easy. Make sure y'all go follow him. You see the QR up there at the top. Make sure y'all go check that out, man. On everything, man. You definitely want to have those fellowships, that tight knit circle. You're going to be held accountable, and it's in a good way. It's not someone just throwing stones and hiding their hands. We're here to build each other up. So yeah, we out. Y'all be easy. See y'all next week, Lord willing. Bye.